should I explain? So this is the gist. This is from the top down. There are a whole bunch of things inside this definition, and then there's a FB module, which is a class with at least 3 different functions or methods. A login, a get login status, and an API. Don't get scared with these. These operators are meant to basically give you the same kind of type operators that you have in normal F# language, but they are expressed as functions that have a different meaning so that we can reflect on them differently, and therefore we can provide the kind of functionality that this whole binding is supposed to provide. So this basically, login is a function that takes a login response and returns a unit, and it also takes an optional login option typed value, and it will return unit. What is login options? Well, it's defined someplace else. It's defined in the ... here. And so on and so on. And here you can actually see that I'm also requiring some resources. We'll talk about them soon. When somebody calls any of these methods from that class. And at the very end, when you represent the whole Facebook API, you have an assembly under this particular namespace, and then among many other things, you have FB, the class FB, which provides the login, logout, and status updates. So for our little app, we only need like 3 or 4 different functions. And for simplified rendering here, I'm showing the basic skeleton of this, and now let's jump into it. This is actually defining a resource. It says, I have a resource called Facebook API, and the path to it is this long URL. And remember, I have annotated on the FB class this resource. So every time that you use fb.login, fb.api, you will inherently pick up a dependency